including Richard Savage, ranked 5th in the world only a matter of months ago.
Here we go. Here we go.
And this is going to be interesting. In this business, you're not too far away from disaster, and Jeff Fenech will need to keep himself concentrating all the way through the fight. Gus Mercurian, and he's down already. It must have been a slip, yes.
Yes. Wow, that gave me a little bit of a fright there.
It did me too. I saw the left jab go out. I couldn't see from my angle. I was looking at Zarate's back, in fact, whether it had connected clearly.
The situation here, of course, is that Zarate also, our own Paul Ferrari, boxed. Zarate took him to the 12th round, losing on a cut eye. Jack Rennie was in Paul's corner at the time. Fenech is boxing Zarate, boxed him quite well. Landing jabs to the body, landed jab to the head.
Yeah, Jack Rennie giving a lot of pointers this week too. Good left jabs. Giving a lot of pointers to Johnny Lewis about Zarate's style, but of course that's some 9 years ago now, or 7 years ago.
Yeah, a little bit more than that even. It's
was it 77? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's roughly about 11 years ago.
Referee tells Zarate to keep the punches up. Fenech catches him with a right cross and a right uppercut. Fenech has hurt him here in the opening.
Zarate's hurt.
Zarate is not keen on this at all. Fenech is all over him. But we know he's a crafty customer. He's come in with a huge reputation, a great record, 13 wins in the last year and a half since making a comeback. 10 of those by knockout, and 6 of those, I'm told, haven't gone past the first 5 rounds. But already stunned by Jeff Fenech, and Fenech's working again with that right hand coming over the top.
What Johnny Lewis said, this guy can punch too. They're talking about how the other bloke punches. He says, my guy can punch, and he's going to show him he can punch.
Yeah. And so far, Gus, Zarate's defense not looking to the standard you would expect of a guy of his caliber.
Not looking good at all. I'm quite surprised he got hit that easily and that often. Might take him a little while to warm up. You never can tell, but it's not a good idea to be losing rounds like this. But by the same token, he does want to get into a punching duel. He doesn't want to get overconfident, get into a punching duel with him. Not yet, anyway.
Zarate still to land a clean blow. Fenech has landed many and landed them off, and the right hand really stung him. Fenech is chasing after him now. That right hand really rocked him back. And Zarate is on the back pedal. He's running and he's too slow. That left hand was awful. Whether Zarate was just stunned and that left hand was very, very lazy and slow.
Zarate just weathers the storm in round 1. Carlos Zarate probably doesn't know what hit him in that first round. Yes. It was Jeff Fenech.
Yes, it sure was Jeff Fenech, and it was a great right hand, and we've got it coming up here, and there it is. Gee, it rocked him. And then again, both of those right hands really rocked Carlos Zarate. He copped another one about 30 seconds later in the round that made him backpedal. And when he tried to throw the left hand back at Fenech, when Fenech was ducking, the left hand was so slow it was telegraphed. And Carlos Zarate has a lot of work to do. Fenech is rushing over to him and wants to start it. The old intimidation tactics from Jeff Fenech. What can Carlos Zarate do, Gus Mercurio?
Well, I don't know if Carlos just got caught cold in that first round, or if Fenech really got on. And again with that
Fenech hits him again.
Fenech is landing beautiful punches. Carlos' reactions are slow. He's not getting away from those punches, getting hit too easily, and that makes it look good for Jeff Fenech.
I don't know what Mexican health insurance is like, but I hope Carlos is paid up.
Yeah. Of course, we got to see Carlos get a little steadier if he can and throw some punches and see what he can do.
Yeah, because no matter what happens here, Jeff Fenech has to at least stay in control and not let himself get banged by
Yeah, I don't want to get in a punching.
Bombs, yeah.
He doesn't want to get in a punching duel this early. He wants to wear this guy down a bit. He's doing that, obviously. Jeff Fenech is coming up full marks here, really. The referee, of course, telling him about the kidney punches to some extent. Very experienced referee from Sacramento, California. This is his 56th world title fight.
Warning for Fenech there for hitting to the back of the Zarate's head. Zarate has to try and sting Fenech to slow him down, but at the moment, Fenech just like a raging bull, full of confidence, full of power.
Well, while he may have beaten someone like Richard Savage by knockout in his last outing, I doubt that Zarate's fought anyone at this weight that applies that much pressure, and Fenech is applying the pressure again. Zarate trying to punch up with the uppercut, but Fenech is all over him.
Speed and power personified, Jeff Fenech.
Yes, his work rate is very good. He's putting out.
Yes, if you're watching those flurries at home, I guess you think that Channel 7 has turned the TV to fast forward. The guy throws them that quick. He really is fast. Oh, jeez. The right hand came over the top of the jab.
People yelling to Zarate to let him go. I think Zarate's going to have to hang on to survive.
Zarate spins him around to the ropes, showing a little bit of experience there as Jeff came in quickly. Zarate trying to pick his mark, but Jeff's defense. He's holding his hands up well. Zarate probably should work at the body to try and get him to drop those hands. But,
Zarate's dropping that left rip under Jeff's right elbow a little bit, trying to bring Jeff's hands down.
Jack Rennie would have told Fenech, you can hit these Mexicans with a blunt axe, but you still can't stop them.
That's his second warning for low blow, Wilco.
As soon as he... Another one of those, and...
Bell for the end of the second round. Fenech well on top. Carlos Zarate, as I said before, doesn't know what hit him, and you just saw Hank Gillespie there warning him about the low blow, but look at this, Fenech all over him like a rash. Zarate doing his best with his back to the ropes. Fenech fending off those blows, and really nothing getting through from the Mexican. This is from the overhead angle.
And look at that right hand, Wilco, straight over the top, and really doing a lot of damage, and he goes to work with the left and the right. Although at the end of that round, Gus Mercurio, Zarate looked probably a little less bothered than he had in the earlier round.
Yes, I felt that perhaps the first round he really was bothered. He weathered that storm a bit better, losing the first two rounds. The first round by margin of 2 points, the second round by margin of 1. He is now 17 points to Jeff Fenech's 20 points. Jeff doing it very, very nicely, almost as he pleases.
On the same token, you've got to admit Zarate still looks pretty composed for a bloke that's been hit pretty hard.
Yes, he does. He's an old pro. He's still there. He's still dangerous. Punches are slow, but there's power. But he is still dangerous. Don't want to lose concentration with this guy. I think after this fight, we're going to have all the votes are going to be on Fenech, and the way it looks to me now, all the votes are going to be 100% for him as a real champion.
Well, the body shot from Fenech. A bit of damage there on Zarate. Zarate's trying to ease in and find an opening, but Fenech just keeps taking the initiative. He's just so much quicker.
Ooh, a little bit low again.
That's a third low blow, and I'm surprised that Hank Gillespie didn't warn Carlos Zarate. Fenech a little bit of Marrickville mauling.
Well, Fenech's not intimidated by Zarate, that's for sure.
And the referee Hank Gillespie wearing surgical gloves tonight.
Yes, I suppose we have to say why.
Well, it's an innovation that's resulted from the AIDS scare. The referee, of course, has to have such close personal physical contact with boxers in the ring. And a lot of boxing authorities feel that for safety's sake, then it's a necessity.
It's the first time in this country's history, though, Wilco.
Yes, I know they want to, obviously, AIDS being a disease transferred with blood and body fluid. Another low punch, another low punch. He's going to take a point. He's taking a point.
Yes.
He's taking a point. Low blow, taking a point.
Well, on my recollection, that's 4. He had only warned him on 2 previously, so he's got away with 1. And if he's done anything, he's just upset Jeff Fenech, and that probably isn't a smart thing to do.
Just to finish that AIDS business, they're going to test fighters. They're going to test their blood supply to see whether any fighters are affected, but all fighters WBC are going to be tested, and also the Australian Boxing Federation.
It's getting fast and furious now. Centre ring here between Zarate and Jeff Fenech.
Tell you what, Jeff is still on top, but Zarate is showing a little bit more, isn't he?
Yes, a few more of those jabs are getting through. But Jeff is still trying to overpower him. He's trying to win this fight on his strength. And that right hand is scored, and the bell is a welcome
after the bell. Fenech lands a punch after the bell, but 5G had Zarate in trouble once more. Jeff Fenech, like a powerhouse, has been all over Carlos Zarate in the opening 3 rounds, and here's just a sample.
Yeah, he sure has been all over him, and the combinations that Jeff Fenech is putting together here. A little cheap shot there from Jeff, hitting after the referee, Hank Gillespie, was going to come in and take that point away from Zarate for the low blow.
How'd you score it, Gus?
Well, take the low blow, of course, it becomes an 8th round. But normally what you do is you put the deducted point on the side, and at the end of the fight that is taken into consideration. So it was another winning round to Jeff Fenech, obviously, and it could be by 2 points with the low blow being 1 point off. The judges in this fight, of course, note that, put it on their card with an OD, ordered deduction.
Zarate is continually on the back pedal here against Jeff Fenech. It doesn't seem that he's been able to hurt Fenech.
Well, Zarate's looked at the referee a couple of times as if to say, you know, what am I supposed to do? But Fenech just rushing in on him.
Well, unfortunately for King Carlos, the referee can't stand in front of Jeff Fenech for him, and Jeff Fenech is all over him again in the corner, and he's chasing him down.
He's down. Zarate is down. Will they put the count on him this time? Yes. The crowd berserk.
Zarate was back up as the count reached 3.
Fenech is cut. Fenech looks cut over his right eye.
The chant is up for Jeff Fenech. Fenech wants to finish this early. Zarate is now starting to try and work hard, but Fenech keeps scoring with the left.
I noticed a bit of blood over. Yes, he's cut over his right eye. This could be dangerous. Can't get a good look at it now, but I saw some blood there.
Zarate is holding. Fenech still trying to work. Fenech is all over him again. Zarate is in real trouble. But he holds the back of Fenech's head, and Fenech comes straight in with the right. We're into the 4th round. And Jeff Fenech has put Carlos Zarate on the canvas already. Zarate is in real trouble here in the 4th round in the Horn and Hoedown. The living legend will go. By the looks of this, have lived a little bit too long in the ring, unless he can pull something surprising out, but he's still punching.
Well, legends are always a little bit larger than life, and maybe that's the case with Zarate as well.
But that cut is opening over Jeff Fenech's eyes. Once again, looking at trying to put Zarate away. He can't get a clean shot on him. He scores there with the right hand.
That's it.
Bell for the end of the fourth in a flurry of punches. Fenech and Zarate going at it hammer and tong at the Horton Pavilion.
Fifth round, we won the fight, mate. Since you can't take that off him. Wasn't a punch though, but it was a headbutt, mate. Isn't it? Where's the doctor? Where's the doctor? The doctor's there. The headbutt. 1 point penalty for him if I stop it, okay?
Cut under Fenech's right eye being worked on. Zarate down in the previous round.
But the most important thing about this cut on Jeff Fenech, I heard the referee take a point off Jeff Fenech because the cut was caused by a headbutt. But here's the knockdown. The big right hand puts Carlos Zarate down. He came up for a standing 8 count. And here's the other angle of our overhead camera, and you can see the power. But I must repeat that the cut over Jeff Fenech's eye has been caused by a headbutt.
Hey,
the fight has stopped.
Into a brawl here.
The fight has been stopped. Zarate figured he had won the fight.
What's happening?
But you will find, Zarate thought he'd won the fight, but the fight has been stopped because of a deliberate headbutt from Carlos Zarate. The point was taken away from him, and the fight will go to Jeff Fenech. This is controversy.
It goes to the fight. The fighter, it's a head on points.
Well,
wait a minute. What's happening here? Make the announcement.
there's confusion. Total
Make the announcement.
I can tell you that Jeff Fenech has won this fight because I heard the referee say that it was caused by a deliberate headbutt.
So then the fighter head on points has to win this fight.
The crowd is going berserk. This is an ugly night here.
They better make an announcement pretty soon.
The crowd going.
Because if it was a deliberate headbutt, it's disqualification. It was an accidental butt. The fight's got to be stopped. Jeff Fenech would win it.
But
after the 3rd round.
Gus, it must be a deliberate headbutt. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been walking over and taking points away from him. But we'll see what happens in just a moment.
John Harker getting into the centre ring now to see if he can clarify just what's going on there. Referee Hank Ellisbrew. We heard him quite clearly as he came over to the judges. Hey. And we'll find out what happens in just a moment.
They're very long in making this decision. They're very long in telling the crowd, because as the rules state, if the fight is stopped because of an accidental butt that causes a cut, to stop the fight after the 3rd round, the fighter head on points wins.
Carlos Zarate and Jeff Fenech.
You notice the cut is under the eye. You see it under the eye.
Yep. Very bad cut. Here we are. This is Ray Connolly. Well, I don't know why the crowd
has ruled an accidental headbutt.
Accidental headbutt.
Brought the injury to beneath the eye of Jeff Fenech. The cards are now being counted, and whichever boxer is leading on the cards will receive the decision.
Well, now the crowd's jeers turn to cheers because they realise that Fenech will win the fight. Must win the fight.
That's the WBC ruling. The other corner knows it because it was read out distinctly at the rules meeting. And the referee is the judge on whether it was a punch or a head collision. He called it a head collision. A little bit unsatisfactory ending, Wilco.
Yes, certainly an unsatisfactory ending, although you've got to admit the crowd got their money's worth for the 4 rounds that they were out there. Fenech just laid into Zarate like there was no tomorrow, but the Mexican, although he did go down once, of course, in that 4th round, and what turned out to be the final round, he certainly absorbed an enormous amount of punishment, and I think this fight would have gone pretty close to going the distance. He was taking the punishment.
Yes, he was coming back. He was delivering. Here we go.
To clarify the situation for your own benefit, we request your immediate attention. The referee ruled an accidental headbutt brought about the injury to Jeff Fenech.
on consultation with the ringside judges and the supervisor, it was deemed the boxer who was leading on points at the finish of the fourth round would be declared the winner. Here now are the points of the opening 4 rounds. Dick Young, Jeff Fenech, 40 points. Carlos Zarate, 34. Dave Brown, Jeff Fenech, 40 points. Carlos Zarate, 34. Chuck Hassett, Jeff Fenech, 40 points. Carlos Zarate, 34.
Well, there it is. A sensational finish, but the crowd, as I said, the jeers now turning to cheers as they realise that Fenech is in fact the winner. I thought for a while there the crowd were under the impression, and they certainly had that impression from Zarate's camp, that the Mexican had won the fight. Yes. That was not the case. The fight was ended after the fourth round because of a headbutt that opened up a very severe gash under Jeff Fenech's right eye. It was deemed to be an accidental headbutt. Let's go to the centre ring now with John Harker and Jeff Fenech.